Hello, welcome back to the James Ramon Reviews. In today's video, I'm actually doing something slightly different on the channel because today I'm just going to review something off the cuff, off just raw reaction. Because I finished watching Troll 2 earlier, and I think it was over half an hour ago, maybe more than that. And I thought to myself, because of this, the way I felt about the film, I didn't really feel like it needed a day or 2 or 3 days to process because in the moment that's how I felt, and I think if even I gave myself that much time, I'd know how I'd feel anyway. So what you need to know is the first Troll movie was a 2022 like Norwegian like monster flick where this big stone monster came out from this Norwegian place and he wanted to do something that he wanted to do, right? But then there was a woman, and then the woman and had a dad, and they both were really intrigued and researching the monster, wanted to figure out how to deal with it all, and it was really simple. And it was a really interesting movie. What I thought it was so good, like it was a pretty solid film for what it was going for, and so then when you get to this movie right here, Troll 2, I'm gonna first of all say that this movie, yeah, this is a pretty big example of Netflix cash grab, in my opinion, because what it really does is it just capitalizes off of the first movie in order to just drag this whole thing out. So the first thing I'll say is that there is a couple of moments in the film where you can be like, oh yeah, it's entertaining, but then they just throw these random scenarios and all of that in this movie. Like there's like a scene in the movie where it feels like we're in a different film where one shot is in a nightclub and then it's on the news. One moment is all the way in Norway back in the town, and then one part of the movie goes to this other place. Like it feels like the movie's all over the place and the movie can't even figure out what it wants to do with its own self. Like if just for example, right, I'm gonna spoil some things in this movie review because I kid you not, like one of the characters from the first movie, like has this whole thing about how he actually got the woman pregnant that was actually the person in the security and the CCTV sort of side of it, trying to track down the troll and things like that. Like things like that where they just throw these random storylines into it, and there's like this love relationship between this guy that was like a kind of soldier dude. Like there's all of these things that don't get answered, like they just throw it into there and it's like, yeah, it's on the sidelines. It's like, oh yeah, that's there, this is there. And then there's a thing about the Saint Olaf kind of mirror. It feels like the Christianity or the Christianization of Norway, right? It's the start of the movie. It has this like whole intro about the Christianization of Norway, and I actually thought it was going somewhere. But all it is they literally go into a cave and they see Saint Olaf with a sword just inside of a grave. And it's like, what the hell was that? And then they just slide right past that to then when you cut right close to the end of the film, the two big monsters that were in earlier in the movie in the ice, let's have a fight. And it's like, there's about 5 or 7 things happening in the movie, and you just don't really know where to start. And honestly, that's the problem with some of these sequels that you watch. Sometimes you're just like, how can you create a movie that was already what it meant to be, and then you just decide to go, this is what that is, and then you just go crazy. Like that's what this is. Like there are sequels where you can just have fun with it, roll with it, and go crazy with it. And there's attempts at that in this movie. It just doesn't really solidify what you need in a really silly movie like this. Like, if you're gonna get invested in a cheesy flick like this, you're gonna see how funny it's gonna get. But some of the jokes they try to crack is kind of just, it doesn't land always throughout the film. It's not even because of how there's that whole thing about how the Norwegian language doesn't translate because I don't speak Norwegian. I don't understand the humor. Like there's nothing to do with that. It's just some of the writing in the movie, you just laugh at it because you're just like, what the heck was all of that sort of thing. And so honestly, I didn't hate. I'm acting like I hated this movie because I am a little bit annoyed because I was watching it. I was like, I really wanted to enjoy the film. I really wanted to see where this was going, But overall, I just don't think it landed the plane. It definitely trolled me as a movie. I thought it was gonna. I didn't go in with too much high expectations, but I was like, you know what? Maybe it could be fun. Maybe it could be just at least a little bit like the first movie. But no, it really is nothing like the first movie, and that's how I felt about it overall. I did one attempt of this video, but I think this is a better attempt for me to go really into this, really deep dive into it. So yeah, on my phone, I just thought it'd be better to do it on my phone because, it's easier for me, and yeah, I didn't need to spend ages thinking about it because it's one of these kind of films. So I'll have to say this, that I'm gonna give it a 5 out of 10. It's passable, it gets the job done, but I'm never watching it again. And as somebody that loved the first movie, you can just tell where it went wrong. So yeah, stay tuned for more reviews like this one. Hope you enjoyed this review, and stay tuned for more like this one. If you like these kind of different reviews where I just go for like a raw reaction, let me know, because I'm gonna start doing that if I feel like a movie I don't need to spend a day or so thinking about. Like, if you want to see stuff like that, that'll be nice to see. But I just want to try something else. So I'm not just doing the same thing with my laptop, if you know what I mean. And I just thought the quick reactions were good enough. So I'm just doubling down on this fact that I can just do the videos like this as well. Because, it's fun and I'm enjoying it. So stay tuned for more reviews. Hope you enjoyed this review of Troll 2. There's probably going to be a couple of people that enjoyed the movie, but let me know how you felt, and stay tuned for more like this one. Bye.